So today should be really quick. I want to talk to you about tones in language. Now, whenever I'm talking about tonal languages, I typically really break it down into two different types of tonal languages, overt and covert tonal languages. Let's start with covert. That's the majority of languages, in my opinion. Think like English, French, German, Hebrew, anyone that isn't a traditional tonal language, like Mandarin, for example, that uses a covert type of tones in language. Think like if I have a more serious tone and I'm slowing things down, the different tone that I use, it gives a different nuance to what I'm saying as a whole. Just like if I have an upward inflection, it might inflect or imply some type of curiosity and sometimes even a question. So the tones that you use in speech in covertly tonal languages, in my opinion, at least how I break it down, that gives a different nuance, a different meaning to what you're saying as a whole, to a whole clause, a whole sentence, or a whole question. Whereas with overtly tonal languages, think Mandarin, which has 4 plus 1 neutral tone, Thai that has 5 tones, and Cantonese, which has 9 different tones, you use a different tone for each and every single word, each and every character even, that you are saying in that language. For Mandarin and Cantonese, at least. I believe so for Thai. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, the tones apply to each and every character. So in Mandarin, for example, you have the rising, the dip tone, the falling, and then the flat tone, and then the neutral tone at the end, typically used for like question words and things like that. Where you have like ma, 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 ma. And each 4 of those, based on the tone that you use, give a different meaning entirely, and even more so based on the context in which you are using that sound and that tone. So not to go off on too much of a tangent, but in overtly tonal languages, the tone that you use applies to the individual character, and it gives a completely different meaning, or at least it almost always does, give a completely different meaning for the specific utterance in that part of the sentence. Whereas with covertly tonal languages, the tone that you use tends to reflect your manner of speech and like the tone of the phrase overall. I hope that helps. I hope that makes some kind of sense. And maybe it doesn't apply, like maybe you're not learning an overtly tonal language. Maybe you're learning a covertly tonal language, which is probably honestly the case. You should still know how these tones are used because it would allow you to be more in tune with the target culture, with the target audience, right? Because maybe they use different tones of speech, different manners of speech for different reasons than you're used to in your native or one of your other languages. So understanding whether it's an overt or a covert language, how tone is used in speech is very important. I hope this helps. Let me know if it did in a comment, and let me know if I missed something too. I am human after all. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.